of the this kind of session can give. So, part one, we're going to have a little overview about who you are, uncover your inner theater. You're going to be finding something fascinating because we all have an inner theater, and you're going to know what's the theme of the play, who is the main character, who are the secondary character. It's a 3-act play. We're gonna get there. And this is the mandala reading space. Then we're gonna take a case study. I'll take somebody that's alive, unknown, and we'll see how I'm gonna try to reveal things without saying too much, which will not be easy, but you will be able to guess who that mystery person is, and you have no competition because the only one, and whoever found it, it's going to be you.
Perhaps.
You're going to be the first, the second, and the last. You're definitively going to get the gold on the finding. Anyhow, so this is what we're going to do. The case study will start with the natal chart, the life issue manager, which is the main character. Anything happening on your end?
You went out a little tiny bit of sound, but now it's better.
I disappeared?
Yeah, no, it's better now. It's fine. You're perfect.
You can still hear me?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So now here we have the theater. That mandala is a theater. It's a circle theater, and it has 12 scenes. I don't know if you're familiar with the houses in astrology.
Yes.
There are 12 houses. And in fact, this new approach that I'm going to use with you will show that there's no more real houses, there are no more planets, there are no more zodiac signs, there's no more aspects, there are people. And it's a play with people. So, but we're going to still call it house because each one of the 12 has a landlord. So the landlord is important. The house, not so much. The house is kind of a landscape of a stage scene. So let's see. Do you see my cursor?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so here we'll start with number 1, and we have the warrior. Number 2, we have the lover. Number 3, we have the mediator. Number 4, we have the mother. Number 5, we have the ego. Number 6, we have the servant, the servitor. Number 7, we have the partners. Number 8, we have the seducer. Number 9, we have the preacher. Number 10, the master. Number 11, the jester. And number 12, the angel. Okay, those, if you know the houses, you can easily relate them to those houses, but also you can relate them to the zodiac signs too.
Yes.
But they all represent the 12 basic archetypes. That's going to be each one of those 12 archetypes correspond a tarot card, but then they can combine among themselves and generate a resulting tarot card. And the entire deck is made of 78 cards. But it is not exactly the same structure as all the other 78 tarot card deck, because this is more an astrological deck than it's a hybrid between astrology and tarology. We'll get there. So this is Mr. Pythagoras, a Greek mathematician and philosopher.
Yes.
And he said, "Know thyself, and thou shalt know all the mysteries of the universe." And that's so true. you said that you're very interested in the stars and the sky. Well, then you shouldn't have any problem to say that as above, so below. Well, the complexity of the cosmos is exactly the same as our inner complexity. And the macrocosm has the same structure as of the microcosm.
Yes.
So finding this unique essence, because we are all born at a certain time and in a certain place at a certain day, and that is describing our unique personality. There is no other typology that offers that much of flexibility, where no two are the same, even for twins, because they're born 15, 20 minutes apart, but the sky is no longer the same. You can't swim twice in the same river, they say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I indicate here 7 questions with the 7 typological questions: the who, what, why, when, where, how, and how much. And I'm going to phrase those questions at the same time. Try to think if you can answer them instantly and count them as I go. Then you'll tell me how many of those you can do. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Go.
Are you in your own sphere? By the way, you don't have to answer me. Just count if you have an instant answer or not. What is your life mission on Earth? Why your perception is not the reality? When did you face a major dilemma? Where do you rank material security? How would you portray your identity? How much does your inner life matter? Give me a number between 0 and 7.
Oh, 0 and 7. Okay. Ah, it totally changes it. Okay, go ahead.
We'll just have it all together.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Do you want me to give you answers?
no, I need a number. That's all. Give me a number: 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, well, probably all about 7.
You can answer them all?
I did them all, and they're probably all between, I'd say, 5 and 7. They're all important.
So you have answered to most of those questions.
Yes.
Okay, well, that indicates that you already have a good self-knowledge.
I've been working on it a long time, Serge.
Okay. I'm gonna announce you a new lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get there, and I will be able to bring you things that you don't know about yourself.
Okay.
But after the presentation, because this is a presentation that was prepared for a group. But the reason is that the way I'm working is by showing cards that show images which are very rich in symbols and very rich in bringing back your own unconscious. And so what I believe is that to know oneself, the tools are just a mirror of it. And you should be able to relate to them instantly. So that's why the word instantly was very important in the phrasing of those questions. But
Yes.
if you know between 5 and 7, that's pretty good. Okay, we're going to go to the next slide. So what I did, I took the best of astrology,
Mm-hmm.
the best of tarology, and I created a new tool, which I call astrotarology. In fact, tarology speaks very much to the non-rational part of the brain. Astrology is more mathematical, and the position of the planet are very are very exactly calculated, and they correspond more for the left side of the brain. But somebody who doesn't know astrology, with a natal chart like you see here on the left, well, cannot read it because you need the knowledge to understand that. Tarology is about the same thing, you know. Those are some images of traditional tarot cards from the French Tarot de Marseille.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will tell you something that has changed in the theories of the brain with the birth of the computers. In the past, not too long ago, the left was the rational part of the brain, the right was the imaginary part of the brain, and that has been like this. In fact, that design that you see in the middle is more or less representative of that.
Mm-hmm.
But with the advent of the computers and the electronics, things have changed. The right side is now in charge of the reality, and the left side is more in charge of the virtue part of the life. And what has become a dormant part, at least in the previous theory, is the link between those two sides, and which is it's physically existing in the corpus callosum in the brain,
Mm-hmm.
are the bridge between the two sides. Let's say you're driving your car and you have a GPS. Watching the road is done by the right side, listening to GPS by the left side. And the corpus callosum bridge the two so you can get to your destination. That's the new interpretation of the new brain science.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same way that we needed to connect the left and the right, astrotarology does just that. And the cards will be positioned on the mandala that we have seen before, that we're going to see again. And there shouldn't be more than 3 or 4 cards on the table, which most that one can digest without getting confused, because those are very, very powerful images. Okay, any questions?
No, I use both, so it's fine. I'm right in line with this. So. But it's interesting from changing the sides of the brain. That's interesting.
Good. And so, if you have a better knowledge of yourself, well, you're going to make better decisions. Better decision than anything. In fact, any kind of questions we have in our life with the outer world, with the cosmos, with ourselves, with the collective psyche, well, all this end up always to come with a better knowledge of ourselves. So since you have been doing a lot of work on that, well, you know the difference between good self-knowledge and so-so self-knowledge. A great number of the people don't even ask that question, and even those who ask that question don't even know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about your theater, your inner theater. All the characters that's going to show up are inside characters. They can be projection of outside people, but what is important is that it's like your dream. Every person's in your dream is you, because it's your dream. It's unconscious to use for different people. The theater play that you're going to have in this kind of activity, this kind of approach, it's your inner life, because it's going to be your unconscious that's going to talk to you. Bring some unconscious to the open. Okay, so that's the Greek theater in Delft. on which I overlaid the mandala and the little characters there. On the stage that's now temporarily on the second floor
Mm-hmm.
are people that are already stand by to play there and to play on the stage itself, on the circle stage. And in fact, you're going to see that once we start to enter the theater, because so far we haven't entered anybody's theater, neither a mystery person, neither you, neither anybody in this image. But we're going to start with a narrative. What is the dialectic? What is the problematic that the person is born with and going to carry his or her entire life? And that's the theme of the play. That's the issue of the play. A play needs to have some harmony and some conflict, some dilemmas. That's what life is all about. And that's what people seek when they go in a theater or to see a movie. They don't want something that's boring. So our life is never boring. Our inner life is not boring. There's always something happening. So we're going to move to the next one. So here now we see again the 12 houses with their 12 landlords, but more important is the 12 landlords. I put them more in the center than before because we need to leave room to put the cards here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the cards are here, the deck of cards is here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using the Symbolon deck. I didn't create that deck. It was created by Peter Orban, who is a German astrologer, psychologist, and I found them remarkable, and I have been using them since I discovered them. And so now we're going to get closer to go to a case study. We're going to study a mystery celebrity. I'll give you already a clue. That person is still alive. Okay, but the only clue I tried to give you, unless I slip more information than I should.
Okay.
All right? So we're going to start. Here is the natal chart of that person. You have, and it's overlaying the mandala. So we have the planets, we have the houses, we have the sign where the houses are beginning, and we're going to start with what's called the ascendant, and the ascendant is in Cancer. So, the tarot card that corresponds to the Cancer sign is that image that you see here, the image of the mother.
Right.
I would like you to give me the maximum feedback about that image in terms of what you observe and what you feel.
Well, it's the ancient symbol of the Madonna in all cultures. She's obviously Cancer is moon. We've just entered the Cancer season, so it's important that we're doing this today.
Yes.
Also, are they irises that are growing up in her dress? They're beautiful.
Right. They are irises.
Yes. And the blue is always associated with Mary as well, and all the stars.
Mm-hmm.
Which are they the Pleiades again? I can't remember what were around her. I'm trying to go back in my head for research whether it was the Pleiades
I don't think there is a astronomical accuracy here. It's
Okay.
enough.
Okay. So obviously she's crowned by the stars as well. So very beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, she has a diadem of
Mhm.
star.
Mhm.
So, do you want to say more?
In regards to the ascendant, so she's
Yes. Everything there's no right or wrong.
family, the boss, because every Cancer woman I know is a boss.
Yes.
Very strong, very family oriented, very almost and nurturing on one point, but also very self-involved on another point. But
By the way, just a personal question. Do you have children?
yes, I do.
Okay. So you would relate to
Yes.
motherhood, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do we see here? We see the reflection of the moon on the water.
Yes, I didn't mention that. Yes, there is a reflection. Yes.
And the iris, I would say, Iris is the counterpart of Hermes in the Greek mythology.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feminine counterpart of Hermes.
Mm-hmm.
And so femininity is involved, but it's also, since we see the moon, and its reflection, we see the diadema, I don't know how you say it in English, le diadème,
Diadem. Yeah.
diadem of stars on her head, and surrounding an aura around her head also with stars. It's obviously the mother in all the possible sense.
Right, in her highest sense, absolutely. Yes.
It can be the mother of one or two or three children, but she can also be a cosmic mother.
It's more in that sense that she's shown.
The image shows that huge impact of motherhood in the world, in the cosmos, everywhere.
Yes.
And it's a full moon also, it's not.
I know, today and yesterday.
Yeah. And the child also holds some piece of the sun, it looks. Some little yellow gold coins.
Right.
But that means that it's a blessed child, it's a blessed mother, and it's a blessed relationship between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all this is to say that the theme of the theater play, from the birth of that person until the end, will be a mother theme. Will be somebody who has a sense of cosmic motherhood.
Yes.
So I will now put that card on the mandala. You see? That is where the ascendant is. You know, the ascendant is the horizon at birth.
Right.
It's on the east side of the horizon, the zodiac sign that was rising at that time. And that's why it's so important, because that's how that person has appeared to the world. That's how that is going to last a lifetime. So the mystery person was born with Cancer and rising, and the card associated for the issue, the life issue, is the card of the Cancer. So far, you can see on the top corner of the card, you see the Cancer. On the bottom of the card, you see the moon. This has to do, the Cancer has to do with the issue. The moon has to do with the manager of the issue. That's going to be the main character of the play. Where is the moon? So we're going to search the moon. Ah, we found the moon. The moon is there in the seventh house and in the sign of Aquarius. So we're going to see what that means in terms of cards. So first, we're going to put the same card there in transition, just to explain what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the card on the left represents the issue, Cancer. It's a Cancer issue. The card on the right represents the manager of the issue. It's the leading character, and that's the moon. Here's the moon, here's the mother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, their point, because this is not a character. This is a narrator who's going to announce the theme of the play before anybody comes on the stage. But that's the first character who's coming on the stage, but we'll see that we're going to replace that card by another one. That's going to be more specific. You see that moon, which has also the significance of the mother as a character now.
Mm-hmm.
Entering the scene where there is a partnership. The seventh house had the partners. So we're going to see what all that means. We're going to change that card by bring something else to the table. Here's to show an example of what, and it's not the mystery person.
I know, that was the first thing I thought. I thought of her name right away. It's very funny you put her up.
Yeah, because I believe that she's the best representative of a cosmic mother,
Mm-hmm.
of a universal mother, of a mother without any limitations.
And she was a tough cookie too, so.
Yeah. And what is Jung saying about the mother? Is that the mother is the most important archetype because it seems to contain all else. It is the motherly love and warmth which give us our first identity in the world. Couldn't be a better description of Mother Teresa and the card. So here we have a perfect example of the character of the play.
Mm-hmm.
It's not her.
Okay.
Obviously, I wouldn't release.
No.
It's not her.
Uh-huh. Okay, now I have to come up with somebody else.
Somebody else. I have to come up with somebody else. And she can illustrate the importance of the mother in this character. Okay, going to the next image. So we have the moon.
Aquarius.
You see there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Moon and seventh house.
Mm-hmm.
Combining the moon in the seventh house, the Cancer. The seventh house is the house of Libra because and Libra is the seventh sign. And we have a new card where we have the moon of the moon that was there and the Venus of the Libra that is the Venus of the seventh house. So this is generating a new card. So while the moon is the mother as the lead character, this will show now in what field this moon will play. And we see that's in the seventh house, the house of partnership, and combining the moon and the Venus and the partnership, because there's a difference between the Venus of the Libra and the Venus of the Taurus. You know that?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't elaborate.
No.
By the way, you see there's also some iris.
You're going out. I can't hear you. Okay.
Okay. Are you
Better.
coming?
Better.
Yeah, I can hear some scratching. You still there? Hello?
Yes, I can see.
If you have a problem, you can always stop and come back.
Yes. No, it just, you go in and out sometimes, but I can hear you most of the time. And I know very well Libra. I have Libra rising. So.
Okay. You see also there are some iris flowers in the water here.
Yes.
It's a reminder of the Cancer dress. We have a little river. We have a partnership now where 1 + 1 has make 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been a productive partnership. And so there are trees, there are flowers. She has a flowery dress. The sky is from blue to purple red. And there is a lot of harmony in this image because Venus and the moon combine very, very loving and caring feelings. So it's very much about feelings. Would you add something on this image that you see or what you want to talk about?
It's very harmonious. Like you said, there is, for me, the water going off into the distance in relationship means that the relationship has a long distance. The water in front is auspicious, so that's abundance coming forward. All in all, it's a wonderful card. It's very, very balanced.
You see how it relates to the mother image because when we were watching the mother image, you mentioned the word family.
Yes.
Which is the name of this card.
Yes. And the water relates to the Cancer and as well, so it's a continuation.
But we need also to segment what's going to come with the next card. This card talks about where the moon is acting. The next card will show how the moon is acting. So we know that the moon is the main character. This shows more where it's acting. And it's going to act in the family, but the word family can be extended to a large family, not necessarily between just a man, woman, and a child.
No, because it's in Aquarius.
It can be broadened.
Right.
That's what I mean, especially because the moon has a cosmic dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's add something more to it. We see now that the mother, the moon, is in the Aquarius sign. Okay.
Right.
So we're gonna now combine moon and Aquarius. Previously we combined moon and 7. Now we're gonna combine moon and Aquarius. We see something different now. We see something important. I'll let you make your comments first before I'll give you mine.
Oof. Rebirth.
Deliverance.
Yeah. Rebirth. Well, for me, coming out of the shell is a rebirth, and Uranus is always somehow out of an austere situation, and a rebirth into, when you've got Aquarius is into the greater picture, and Cancer can be is the cosmic mother, but it is also again, here we go back to your original talk about macro, microcosm, and the androgynous being, or it could be a girl or a boy. We can't. It looks like a
Absolutely.
young.
Every card,
Yeah.
every card can be either gender.
Right. So, but for me, it's renewal, or it's an RE card. Out of the past of the difficulties into the future of, or into the deliverance of the big picture, as Uranus is so strongly there.
Yeah, it's definitely a person that's no longer a baby.
No.
So it's not the baby coming out of the egg.
No.
So you mentioned renewal, you mentioned rebirth. This is very, very likely the best interpretation. But there were cracks probably before. There were cracks on the egg before, until there was no other way than coming out.
Right, which is very Uranian, because you have to go through it before you get out.
And it's cold outside.
Yes, that's what I said. Yeah, desolate in a beautiful way, but it's, yes, and there's lots of lines in the background as well, which correlate to the cracks on the egg.
And there is no leaves on the trees.
It's winter.
It's winter. It's cold outside, and that person has no clothes.
Well, that's Uranus.
Also some hardship from a comfortable position to a very uncomfortable position. But and now we only see a very small crescent of the moon. It's no longer a full moon. And there are some flowers that look like narcissus or irises. I'm not sure, because it's the winter and they're not open up, they're open down.
But they're coming. So that's a sign.
Sure. So it's definitely a card of transformation.
Yes.
So it's getting free of the past. So what we have done so far, we have talked about the Act 1. And it's only the beginning of the Act 1. And I will not go further on this presentation, which is considering all the aspects of the moon for that person. That will create many more characters, because this was supposed to be a 1-hour presentation.
I know, we've already gone on. We keep
I'm not finished, but no. But anyway, I don't mind going over time. But it was supposed to be a 1 hour, so I could not even go any further at this stage, because once we enter the aspects of the leading character, we're creating much more complex, and it's at this stage not only it could become overwhelming, but also I wanted to show the beginning of Act 2.
Right.
Act 1 is about the life issue, the manager, and all the helpers of the manager, which we won't really look at today. But what you have here, you have the issue on the ascendant,
right,
rising, the Cancer, and you have those two cards that represent the where and how the moon, which is the leading character of the play, will manage the issue. The second act will be about the processing, and the third act, which is usually the end of the life, the third chapter of the life of the native, and that third chapter is about how you have integrated all the previous two chapters, and you come back to where you started, but with a new dimension, a new elixir of life. So before we're looking at the second act, any questions so far?
No, this is interesting. I like it very much.
Is that giving you any hints to who the
No, I'm totally. You throw me. Well, keep going.
I'm very cautious when I speak
I know.
because I have to integrate in my speech the revelation as if you were the mystery person, and I'm
Right.
telling you about you. And on the other hand, I want to keep the mystery complete. So,
Right.
but so far so good.
Yes.
Now we're going to see how that mystery person is processing life. Now we're going to look at the sun. The sun is in house 6. That's the sun. It's in house 6. House 6 is the image corresponds to the 6th archetype, which is the 6th sign, the 6th corner, the 6th landlord of the house number 6, and that's the servitor, the servant.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you make the comments on that card.
Well,
and it talks about the who, or about the where.
Tells about the where. Okay, so I'm seeing the ancient temple behind. I'm seeing the symbol of, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Asclepius. And I'm seeing the priestess before her altar. And Virgo obviously is the goddess of fruitfulness, of the season, of that season of bearing in September, of bearing the fruits of the summer. She's coming out of Leo and July and Cancer, and the land has already been turned because it's all brown. So everything, so the benefits of the harvest have been taken already.
That's correct.
And we got Taurus down. Is that Taurus down there? It's Mercury. No, it's Mercury. Sorry, I was looking wrong way. And then you've got the fire going, the smoke going up into the ethers. So her message or her prayers are going out.
There is a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
There is a service. There's somebody that's there to serve others.
And Taurus is on the altar.
Providing them with health, This is the Caduceus, Hermes Caduceus.
Right.
That Hermes is Mercury here.
Right.
This is the ruler of Virgo. But it's also, Mercury is also the ruler of Gemini, but it's different Mercuries.
Yes.
But you have plentiful of fruits, the crops, the wheat, the little road with the pines, the temple. But the fields have been cropped.
Right.
And that's what it is, because that's what the sun is all about. And the Virgo follows the Leo and before the Libra. So we are in with a very caring and devoted person. It could have been the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
So.
Or any. Yeah.
Or any servant, because in the biblical text, the Virgin Mary is the servant, and so is Eve. But Eve is, well, it could be Eve too. But but it's definitely the servitor. Whether a man or a woman, doesn't matter. In this case, it's a servant. Anything else you want to add? Because next we're going to get very close.
No, keep going. I'm obviously not on it. I'm like going all over the place here. Go ahead.
You have any hints or clues?
No, because I'm looking at the sun too, and so I was thinking of Hillary, but it's not because the sun is in, unless her, I don't, her sun isn't in Sagittarius. So
And we're not sure of her birth time, so it's not Hillary, because you can't get the birth time.
Oh, you can't get her birth time. Okay. Okay, keep going.
Without the birth time, you don't have the ascendant. I have a way to get the ascendant, even if we don't know the birth time, but it needs to be with the person and make some projections through the cards and finding out which card resonates the best.
Yes.
The ascendant. But that's a different story. And not only Hillary, her birth time is not known. There are speculations, but nothing's sure. And as I cannot get her to explain subjectively our reaction to the different possibility, it's not her.
No. Okay, keep going. Plus, she's not exactly, well, go ahead, keep going. I'm not going to start criticizing.
Now we have the preacher.
Oh, boy.
So I'll let you watch that image.
Well, I always think of Sagittarius as the warrior, so
Sagittarius
as the very spontaneous business going out there, but very low tolerance level, fiery, but initiated, but not a finisher.
What I would say about the Sagittarius is that it is a connector between the earth and the sky.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look at the Centaurus with the feet in the ground and the archer aiming the sky, you see that arrow between the material and the spiritual.
Right.
And that a preacher does just that both ways. Divine message. And he transmits those messages to his disciples. You there?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm trying to figure out who it is. And my brain isn't working. It's going, okay, is it Muhammad, Ali, or is it da-da-da-da, or is it...
I hear you. Yeah, your voice is weak suddenly.
Okay. I've been trying to figure out who it is. My brain is functioning over time. Because I don't know the charts of certain people. And I was going, well, is it Muhammad Ali? Is it da-da-da-da? So,
but the preacher is definitely, it could be also a teacher, but the preacher is a very good image because it's representing the sun in Sagittarius.
Yes.
But we're not finished with the combinations.
No, and Jupiter is very powerful.
But we're getting to the end, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not going to guess it.
Okay, now I'm back to the two characters that were representing the sun,
right?
The servant, and the preacher. Those two cards will combine into one.
Right.
And I'll show you that one. Unless you want to comment more on the preacher, you can see that there's a perfect symmetry on that picture.
Yes, I was just going to say that the balance of the lights, the balance of the stars of David.
There's only one part where there is no symmetry. I don't know if you're going to ever find it. There is one thing that's different. And there is a reason why there is never a perfect symmetry. Because there is no perfect symmetry in nature.
Yeah, it's like in carpets, there's all this.
But also you can see that he has a Buddha
Yes, he's the Buddha above.
He has a Judeo Christian, well, Jewish candle and star, and he has
And
a
then
big
there's the
cross.
cross. Right, he has the cross. And
So
then
it's
his,
kind of a universal preacher.
yeah.
Okay. You want me to jump to the combination of those two cards?
Sure.
Which is Virgo Sagittarius, Mercury Jupiter. So what do we see here? The name of the card is called the Inquisition. And it's the search of the truth. It's kind of a religious court with a lot of pressure.
Yes, it's very impressive.
It sounds like a desire to search the guilt or the innocence of someone, but it's not. It's a pressure on setting to bring the truth out in a setting that's usually not known to be the truth seeker.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. And he's got a cross behind him,
So
which is interesting because it looks like a court, and he's got the cross.
now, what you may question is if the mystery person is the accused or the accuser,
Right.
or both.
Okay. Oh, great. You're great, Sarah. Sure. I'm totally gone now. My brain's working overtime.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to reveal it or if I'm going to bring you a summary of the cards. I think I'm going to bring you a summary of the cards.
Okay. Usually I guess things really quickly. I'm not getting this. It's
Now
like
you have everything to find out who that is. I can give
Inquisition.
you hints, if you want to.
Preacher,
Or I
Inquisition.
can show you the answer. But those are the 4 cards that shows who that person is. The Cosmic Mother.
It's not a pope.
Why not?
Okay.
Okay, I'll show you who it is.
Yes. That's I got it. Okay, good.
You got it
Well,
just in
it only
time.
took me a little while, but I got there.
You got it just in time. You were saved by the bell.
Yes. Oh, phew.
I love that picture.
That's a great picture. I've never seen this one. It's very good.
Really, it shows that he has been, a source of fresh air. Is a refreshing pope because he has been brought a lot of truths that have been hidden for centuries.
Yes, and he's also been, well, he's a Jesuit, so he's very bright. But he's also been through times which were very oppressive in South America. So, yes, so, okay, now it all makes sense. Okay.
I'm just going to go to some